Hey guys, got another knife here for you. This is the Extrema ratio 185 RAO, and it's in the Desert Warfare finish. The 185 refers to the Italian regiment that this knife was created for. They are a, deep behind enemy lines group that gets dropped over there for target acquisitions for days and weeks on end, and they needed a what they call compact field knife. And what this really is to most of us is a extra large, giant, heavy duty folding knife. So two ways of looking at it. First though, I want to do a quick cut test on the MF0 Extrema ratio knife that I showed in my last video. So I'll move this out, get our piece of paper, get our knife, and try to get this all on camera for you. Right through it, and I'll show the pointings of the edge, right in the paper, anywhere you want, nice, easy. So this blade on the MF0, see that grind one more time. There you go. And also just to quick show you the centering on it. I don't think I got that in the last video. You can see right there. Lined up pretty well. So get that out of here. Get this out of here, get right to that. I did open this knife already. I've had it for a day or two now. I've been, playing with it, having fun. So usually it comes inside the sheath. I've taken it out of the sheath. I'll do a quick review on the sheath too for you. This is the Molly sheath. Has both the vertical and horizontal straps to put it on a vest or put it on a belt. This is the sharpening tool that comes with it. It's a diamond sharpener, and right here you can see there's the Extrema ratio name and website, and on the back the information on how to use it. Inside here you have two ways of carrying the knife. In the folded position it goes there, and then the cool thing about this knife is that it acts like a fixed blade as well with the lock pin in it. So if you have it in the fixed blade position, you have a sheath here. You put the knife right in here and carry it. So very nice, well-made piece. Feels heavy duty. In the box, the knife and sheath come in this giant poly bag. Everyone shows when you pull this out, it unravels and the whole thing's inside there. And then here's the knife. And also inside there is the warranty written out in Italian. So this knife is a monster. A few specs on it for you. The length opened is over 10 1/4 inches. The length closed is 5.6 inches. The blade length is almost 4 3/4 inches long. The weight is listed at 11.99 ounces. I've seen some people weigh these. It comes in a little bit less sometimes, maybe around 11.7, 11.8. Not sure why the difference is, but just in case you guys do weigh it, I know there's a little bit of variance there. And then the blade thickness is 0.24 inches. And we'll show you this knife here. So this is the Desert Warfare finish. It comes in the standard finish is just black, where the handle's black and the blade is black with their standard black testudo finish on the blade. Flip this around for you. There you go, Desert Warfare. Jimping right here. This is like your elastic kind of paracord with the extra lock pin here. And we'll see if we can get that for you. There you go. And we'll open this baby up. Do a little two-hand opening for you. And you hear that nice click. Let's hear that one more time. Now that's the axis lock. It's an axis lock system on here, so this knife jumps into place. There's a spring in here that locks it there, and you can just see how giant this knife is. Really cool stuff. I definitely wanted to get into what people are calling these tank knives or heavy duty knives, and this thing is just a monster in the hand. I mean, you feel powerful with this thing. I mean, the blade is heavy. The aluminum helps on the handle to make it light, but yeah, there's definitely heft to this thing. And even in a reverse grip carry, you have a lot of blade to work with there. And you can see this finish. Obviously, I've been playing with. You see little oils and marks on here, but this finish is what they're calling the laser produced geocam pattern. For the coloring on here with the black finish. It definitely is listed as having the same corrosion resistancy as their standard black testudo finish. And then this blade, try to get in here on the grind lines, is a N690 Cobalt stainless steel or Bohler stainless steel metal, which is very corrosion resistant, as well as having the coating on here. You can see, it's a thick blade. It's kind of hard to get in here, and it's showing up pretty well, actually. I mean, you can see how thick that is, and obviously it comes down here. Another cool thing is they actually sharpen the backside of this, modified Tonto, and it's not as sharp as here, but it has some sharpness to it. That's for tactical use. Obviously, it's for prying at things, wire, all that kind of stuff you can do, and then you have the strength to hack and hammer down all kinds of crazy stuff with this knife. Another cool thing about this knife, obviously with the axis lock, is that once you get used to it, you can really swing this thing around. So the weight of the blade can close it for you, and then you just whip it right open. Try not to hit the camera stand, but there you go. You can see that. Why not see how it's centered? So here it is in the handle. Obviously takes up most of the space, but it's not catching anywhere. There's no marks on it from opening or closing. You can see the thickness of that blade. I'm not sure what the weight on the actual blade is just by itself without it. This handle is what they call anticordial aluminum, and it is done in what they call desert finish. It's almost a goldish tan color. Feels nice. Has the little grips here. So in the hand, it is a little squared off. Maybe not the totally most comfortable thing, but it feels sturdy. This this piece comes out here, so you have it here. There's no above level choil. The grind actually goes all the way down there, so there's no way to go over here. But you can choke up. You have the jimping, and it's really nice jimping on here. I mean, it's not sharp, but it catches. Your thumb's not going to go anywhere on this piece when you're holding it. And even in the other hand here, totally fine. So, really like this. Came out nice. What else can I tell you about this piece? You do have, the back spacer, full back spacer. It actually does stick out a little bit on the end here, so I guess you could use that maybe as a glass breaker. And then see if we can show you the inside of the back spacer. Right there covers the whole thing. So I mean, obviously this is a beast knife. A little bit about tank folders, big kind of a big thing right now. I wanted to get just that monster knife, and you can see with that axis lock with that spring, it just sucks it right in when it's closed. Whip this thing right open. The cool thing about this, I got this from one of the authorized dealers in the U.S. called Extreme Knives. They're one of the 4 authorized Extrema ratio U.S. dealers, and really took less than a week to get this thing from payment to getting it delivered. And with a lot of these other big tank folders out there, and this is a mid-tech, this is a knife that is, they have a high-quality manufacturing process for it, and then they actually have their own craftsmen in Italy hand finish and hand sharpen all these knives. So it's inspected, it's touched by a craftsman expert. So you have that, you know, personal touch on the knives, and they obviously supply all the top tactical people, tactical forces in Italy. A lot of the SWAT team, the EMTs, the firemen, they have specialty knives. They do obviously a full range of folders, basic folders, medium duty folders, heavy duty folders, and super heavy duty folders, as well as fixed blades, and then specialty knives for armed forces, EMT, firemen, SWAT, stuff like that. Their website's really good. I'll put a link to it on the bottom like I did in my last video, and also I'll put a link to the dealer that I got this from, Extreme Knives. Highly recommend them. And getting back to the, you know, the short lead time on getting this knife, these other big tank folders that are out there, and maybe they're called or considered more custom knives, or maybe a higher quality in this. I'd like the quality. This thing feels great. I love it, no problem. But it is much less expensive than things like, let's say, the Direware, the Crusader Forge Viz T, the Medford Praetorian. Now, I'd love to get those knives, but you're looking at 5 months, 9 months, year and a half. Maybe the books are closed on some of them to get an order in. And then, you know, if you're not getting it from the makers, you're going to the secondary market, and that pricing just is absurd to me. You know, I mean, I can understand, hey, it's limited, it's hard to get, I'm going to mark it up, you know, $100, a little bit over, you know, the price, make some money back on if you did it. But what you're seeing now is just several $100s marked up on them, or you can't find them anywhere. And so I wanted to get this big knife, have something to play with that's just gigantic, and to really give you a good idea on this piece here, we'll bring out the MF0 again. Let's see if we can flip this. There we go. And I mean, here's their smallest folder, and then here's their biggest folder. So just, this knife is like the size of the handle here. I'll bring in some little bit closer views of this so you can see it. The Extrema ratio emblem, the made in Italy on there. This is your axis lock. You know, it's not paper thin grind on here, but hey, you're going from almost a 1/4 inch pretty much here down to a nice strong grind. You have this whole long edge on here. See if we can get the serial number. Yeah, I mean, just look at that. It's nice, really nice. Really loving this knife. So if you want a big folder, I definitely recommend going to Extreme Knives to get it from the US. They have a wide variety of all the Extrema ratio knives. Great customer service, great pricing, and it's just a fun thing, you know, just whipping this thing around. I saw this on Vance's channel and definitely want to follow up. And the thing is, most videos that are done of this, you only see the black version, and I definitely like the two-tone Desert Edition, having this etching on the blade. I think that's pretty cool, and give you a little info, I mean a little look at here. So when it's in the upright or lock position, to give it that extra security, you put that right in there. I'm not going to screw it all the way in, but really it locks your hand in with this, and then this locks the blade. So even if this axis lock failed for whatever reason, with this stop pin in here, or this lock pin, it can't close on your hand. And believe me, you have to be careful with this thing, because if you're holding it like this and you try to close it, it will guillotine your palm off, or the, you know, that meaty part of your hand. So even though it is cool to whip it out, you got to be definitely really careful with this thing. So other than that, you know, awesome knife. I highly recommend it. I think it's great quality. I mean, the only issue, or the only thing that you really see with this, there's no back and forth play on it. But with this axis lock system, what I've seen with a lot of axis locks is that there is some side-to-side play. Now, I've had this 2-3 days. I've been whipping it around, you know, just flying it open and out and all that, two-handing opening it, one-hand opening it. And if you're right here, there's nothing. Right here, maybe a little play. You go all the way to the top, you do get a little bit of that side-to-side play. Now, that might off-put some people. I'm not sure. It doesn't bother me one bit. This is more of just a collection piece for me. Yeah, I mean, I'll show friends, and heck, maybe if I do go out camping, I might bring things with me just in case, you know, zombie apocalypse happens and I have to defend myself with this. But it's just a fun, cool blade. Really love it. And you know what? Let's just see if we can do a quick cut test on it. These big tank knives, see if they can actually cut stuff. And I know people you know, love seeing the paper cut test, and probably the knife makers hate seeing it, but the enthusiasts and collectors and all of us want to see how it works. So let's see if we can fit this on camera here. Look at that. I mean, the N690 blade, that grind on it, 1/4 inch thick knife, goes right through there. And even, you know, this point is decently sharp. You know, it's duller on this side. You know, this is more of a working, you know, prodding kind of piece, but it is nice that it's kind of sharp. But let's see if we can poke through here. Yeah, there you go. So, cut right in. I don't know. Pretty good. Pretty good for the price on this knife. I mean, some people maybe think it's overpriced. Some people might not like the look of it or the idea of it, but I just think it's awesome. Loving it right now. So, hope you guys liked the video. Please reach out to me, you know, comments, likes, questions. But really cool stuff, and definitely wanted to give you that close-up, you know, in-depth look at this thing, just so you guys get an idea about it. The one other difference from this knife, from the black one too, obviously the black one is the black handle, the black testudo finish, but on this side they actually have, on the black finish one, the insignia here of the 185 regiment that uses this knife, which the RAO stands for in Italian. Let me see if I have it here. Riccazzoni Acquisizione Abbivetti, which in English translates to Target Acquisition Regimen. So that's what the RAO is for. It's for that special force unit, the Italian words for it. So hope you guys like it. Let me know if you have any other questions on this knife, but I'm really digging it. So get one more look at it here with this one. Alright guys, I'm out.